Hi everyone, welcome to Dzylo. In today's video, we would be discussing about petty expense. In interior as well as construction projects, petty expense are a constant challenge. We know that because funds are handed over to a manager, then site managers give that to vendor or do miscellaneous activities on that. So in that case, tracking whoever has received money for which site to whom it has been given, right? It is a messy process. So that's where Dzylo exactly comes in. So in this video, I would show you how with Dzylo you can make the proper use of petty expense, and each payment that has been made would be recorded and you can audit it later. So let me just start. So firstly, before doing anything, you have to do some settings. So scroll down in the navigation bar, go to settings. In settings, we have this setup finance approvals. If you click on this is the first option, need payment approval on submission. By default, it would be disabled. So you can enable it and you can set the amount. So what is this? So let's say, one of your supervisor is adding any expense, then there should be approval. Let's say he is adding 5,000 rupees, right? So either the manager or the admin should approve it because we can't trust them blindly. So in that case, if you have mentioned, let's say 5,000 as the minimum approval amount, then in that case, if the supervisor is adding fund that is 5,000 or higher than 5,000, it won't be recorded in the system directly. After the approval of the admin only, it would be recorded. Next is restrict back data expense on submission. So by default, this would also be disabled. So you can enable it. Here you can mention that let's say today is 5th of October. So if I want my team to add the back data expense, let's say of 29th September, right? If I have given them 1 week of access, then in that case, they can only add the back data expense till last week. So you can do this approval settings and then you can proceed further. So you have to scroll up and here you have this finance option where we have this petty expense. So here we have this general dashboard where you can see to which particular employee how much money has been assigned. Okay. So now how you can allocate a particular fund to your supervisor, right? So in my case, Ramesh is one of my supervisor. So I would go to my fund where I can see that how much balance I have, right? So what I can do is I have to select the user. So in my case, Ramesh is my site supervisor and I am allocating him money. So I have an option of choosing from which source I am paying the amount. So in my case, I have paid him through my personal account. I have paid him, let's say I have given him 5,000 rupees and I have given him floor, plumbing and paint material. So I'll add fund. So in this case, from my account 5,000 has been deducted and to Ramesh the particular 5,000 has been assigned. So if I go to my dashboard and I click on Ramesh, I can see that he has currently 5,000 rupees in the account. So in this way, you can allocate funds to your site supervisor or to any employees and you can manage a track. So once I have assigned the particular fund to Ramesh, now I would show how his interface would look. So this is Ramesh's Dzylo. So I would show you how it would look and how he can add a particular expense. So as you remember, I have added 5,000 rupees in his petty cash expense. So it should be visible. So in the petty expense, you can see that the balance is 5,000 rupees that is visible. So now how to add an expense? So he'll click on this petty expense option. And now he can click on my funds and he can see that designer Keisha has assigned or added 5,000 rupees in his account. So in order to add an expense, he can go to my expense, click on add expense, select the source, write the amount, let's say 2,500 he is paying. To which project he can select. He can upload a receipt if he wants. Remarks for plumbing. Click on more information. There he can select so he can add the vendor, to which particular vendor he has paid 2,500 and the category, right? And then he can select the expense type as well, whether it's for material, label or professional service, and then add expense. So here, can you see that the particular vendor expense has been added yet? No, right? Because you remember that we have set 2,000 rupees, right? As a particular check that if anything or above 2,000 is added, it would require the approval. So let me just show you how it would be visible in your admin or as a manager. So now I have to go to my petty expense. There in approvals, I can see that Ramesh has made an expense of 2,500 in cash on this date for this particular project. So now I can approve it or I can deny it. So in my case, I am approving this. So let's see how it would be visible in Ramesh's dashboard. Manoj will go to his petty expense. There, can you see after approval, the amount has been registered in the system. Similarly, that he can see in his bucket, he only has 2,500 rupees currently because 2,500 has been deducted. So let me just add one more expense quickly. So Ramesh has made one more expense, that is 1,500 rupees to Shishti, and the details have been uploaded. So now he can click on add expense. Because the approval was of 2,000 rupees, it is automatically added. So in his petty expense fund, he can see that 1,000 rupees is only left. Similarly, if I go to the dashboard, you can see that his balance is 1,000, and similarly, you can see the expense that he has made. So let's see how it looks in our petty expense once again. Right? So let me just search Ramesh. So I can see that only 1,000 has been left, right? So if I go to all funds, I can see that I have transferred this particular amount. And similarly, if I open a particular project, go to the project in which Ramesh has added the expense. In project expense, I can see that 2 has been added, right? That Ramesh has paid 2,500 for plumbing to Nitin and 1,500 to Shishti. So this was regarding the petty expense. In today, we have covered how you can firstly go to settings and do the finance approval settings. Next, how you can assign a particular fund by going into petty expense and go to my fund and allocate to a particular site supervisor or any of your employees. Next, how your employees can add expense and how you can do the approvals from here. Thank you so much.